Okay, let us start the session. Okay. Okay, guys. In first unit, second topic. This is the one. Here we are discussing in which one? The fifth one, that is virtual machines and virtualization middleware. We're going to start this one. Before going to that one, let us recap the previous topics. That is, the first one is advances in the CPU process. Okay, and the next will discuss about multi-core CPU and multi-threading. Next, GPU computing, and the next one is memory storage and wide area network. Okay, let us go into the first one. Advances in the CPU processors, guys. Advances in the CPU processor. Okay, here we will discuss about in the span of 33 years how the different CPU processors are coming to picture, and the different networkings in the span of 33. In this diagram we are going to know. Okay, this is already we have discussed. Okay, the next one is multi-core CPU and multi-threading technologies. Okay, here first we will discuss about multi-core CPU. And what is multi-core CPU, guys? Here multiple cores are there. Multiple cores will be there. Okay, here how many cores are there? Okay, from starting core 1 to core n, and each and every core will have the separate private cache. Okay, here this L2 cache is shared by the all the cores. But coming to this L1 cache, this one is used by this core 1 processor, and this cache is used by core 2. Likewise, there is a separate one for each and every processor. Okay, but this L2 is shared by the all the processor. Coming to the L3, this is out of chip, guys. Okay, this is out of chip RAM. Okay, right. This is about a multi-core. Here, multiple processors will be there. Each and every one will concurrently will run. Okay. This is the explanation part for that one. We already discussed this one. Okay, the coming to the multi-threading, guys. Okay, multi-threading means, okay, here we will one processor will execute multiple threads, and each and every thread will have the separate concurrent execution. Okay, one thread is working independently with the another thread. Okay, those threads will be executed concurrently. There is no independent dependency between the each thread. Okay, one thread will execute concurrently, other thread will execute concurrently. What is the importance of this multi-threading is, guys, to improve the performance. Okay, better if you using a processor. Okay, with the help of multi-threading, we are reaching the processor utilization more compared with the normal one. Okay, this is the one. Here main code will be there. That main code will be divided into number of threads. Okay, this diagram will explain that one. Each and every thread will execute concurrently. There is no dependency between one thread to another thread. Okay, we already learned this Java course also. Okay, here we are taking one example, guys. Here we are taking five multi-threading technologies. Okay, here how many threads are there? Okay, thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, thread 4, and thread 5, and white color slot is for blank slot, guys. We already discussed this one also. For coming to the first one, 4-issue superscalar processor. Here only one thread will be executed at a time. One thread will be executed by at a time. Okay, if you observe here, only this diagrammatical representation, this pattern is represents the which one, guys? Thread 1. Okay, only one thread will be executed. If you observe all these things, only one thread will be executed. Okay, coming to this 4-issue scalar processor. Coming to the next one, fine-grained multi-threaded processor. Here at a time, guys, if you observe first line, only one thread will be executed. After completing this one, the next another, it will take another thread, like black color is represented for thread 3. Next one, it is executing the 5th thread. Likewise, at a time it will execute only one thread. Okay, after that it will shift it to the next one in fine-grained multi-threading processor. Third one is a coarse-grained multi-threading processor, guys. Coarse-grained multi-threading processor. Okay, here observe, guys, some portion of time, for suppose here 3 things. Here these time cycles, it will execute only one thread. After that it will shift it to the another thread. After that it will shift it to the another thread. Next, finally, means it's some portion of time it will execute one thread. After that it will shift it to the another thread, guys. Okay, right. Next one is dual core, guys. Here 2 processors will be there. Dual core, what it will have? It has 2 processors. One processor will execute one thread, another processor will execute another thread. If you observe this diagram, okay, here this portion is one executed by one processor, that is black color means it's executing thread 3, and this one is executed by thread 4. Okay, this processor is executed by thread 4. Okay, this is multi-core. Multi-core means 2 processors will be there. Okay, in simultaneous multi-threading, guys, there is no pattern. Okay, it randomly it executes. Okay, if you first take the first slot, it executed the thread 1 and thread 5 and the thread 2, and the next slot it will execute in some other thing. Okay, here if you observe, white slots are there. White slots means it's a inefficiency in the algorithm. Okay, guys, clear? Okay, this is the explanation part for the 4 type of multi-threading, guys. Okay, this is all the explanation already explained you. The next one is the graphics processing unit programming model, guys, GPU model. Okay, if you take this diagram, guys, here the CPU will be there and the GPU will be there. CPU will be there and the GPU will be there. Okay, because of this model, GPU programming model, the huge amount of tasks will be done with some efficient time out. Okay, in less time out, it is executing the big projects also. Okay, here the CPU is there and GPU is there, and the GPU will have multiprocessors. This is one multiprocessor, and likewise n number of multiprocessors are there, and each one will have the different processors. Multiprocessor means different processors. This is core 1, core 2, likewise n number of cores are there, likewise for the another one also. Okay, because if this multiprocessorness, the speed will be increased. Understand, guys? Okay, one more thing, guys, the CPU will give the task to the GPU. CPU will give the task to GPU here. Okay, what it will do is the main memory will have the some speed, and the device memory will have the some speed. Okay, it should be matched, then only the any information is given from the CPU will reach to the GPU. Otherwise, if for suppose the main memory is having the more speed, for suppose device memory having the less speed, means the content will be lost. Why? Because the main memory will send some information. Okay, that information not will reach it to the device memory. Why? Because the difference is in the speeds, guys. They should be sync. They have to the sync with the speeds. Okay, the main memory speed as well as GPU device memory speeds. Okay, right? This is all the explanation part I told you already. Okay, completed. And the next one, some of them are asking about this slide, guys. This is the nothing is there, guys. In the span of 33 years, how the main memory chips, okay, RAM chips are how they are increased. And the next one is it is hard disk. This brown color diagram is for hard disk, and this is for RAM related thing. Okay, initially in 1978, it's very less speed. It's that RAM speed is in the form of kilobits. Okay, and now it is increased to 64 GBs. Okay, in 2011. Okay, how the speed of how the storage of RAM increasing. This is the diagram explanation, and this coming to this brown color, guys. This is the explanation related to the hard disk, guys. Disk capacity. Okay, initially it is in the form in the very less in size. Okay, that is 0.01 means it's in MBs. It is in MBs, and now it is increased to 5 terabits. Okay, for comparing, if you take this one Seagate Buraku XT, its size is 5 terabits, guys. Okay, how the size of hard disk is increasing, this diagram will explain. How the RAM sizes increases, this diagram will explain, guys. Understand, guys? Navya, clear? Yesterday you asked this doubt.
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. Then next coming to the this one also we have completed, guys. System area interconnects, guys. Here we will discuss about LAN, guys, and SAN, guys, NAS. LAN already know, guys. You already know in our lab, in our IT lab, guys. One server room is there, and that server room is connected to the all the another systems. Those we call them as a client systems. Whenever you have given any task, okay, that will be sent to the server. There the server will execute the task, and again the result will be given back to the client, guys. Okay. Here, all the systems and servers will be interconnected to form a LAN, guys. Okay, coming to the SAN, this is a new terminology. Okay, just observe, guys. Storage area network. Here, the servers and network storage. Okay, means servers and storage will be interconnected. Those network is we call them as a SAN, storage area network, guys. Understand, guys? Storage area network means it's related to server and the storage. Coming to this is the another new term, guys. NAS. We call them as network attached storage. Okay, here it connects the clients and the storage, guys. This connects the clients and the storage. We already discussed this one. The next coming to the diagram. Here, if you observe, guys, okay, these LAN, SAN, NAN in one diagram. Okay, storage and clients, that we call them as a NAS. Okay, and the servers and the clients, that interconnection we call them as LAN, local area network, and SAN is for servers and the storage interconnection. Clear, guys? Yesterday already write the diagram also. Okay.
ఇక్కడ యాపిల్ పెట్టింది.
Is that right?
అక్కడ యాపిల్ పెట్టింది తులసి చెట్టు గాని.
Okay, guys, all of you mute yourself. Okay. This one is also we have discussed yesterday, guys. Virtualization. Okay. Second.
రోల్ నెంబర్ 48 మ్యూట్ లో లేరు మీరు. 48 మ్యూట్ చేసుకోండి.
Okay, virtualization, guys. Already told you guys, virtualization means not existing thing. It's a imaginary thing. We call them as a logical thing. Okay, virtualization. Why is virtualization is very important cloud computing, guys? I'll give you already example, guys. With the help of virtualization, we are able to use the storage as well as networking resources as well as hardware and operating system also. Okay, we will take all these services from the cloud. We will take all these services from the cloud, guys. We will take all these services from the cloud. If you take any service, for suppose I have taken storage from the cloud, guys. Okay, I am able to save my content in the cloud, not in my own system, but it will behave like as it is there in your local system. That's why it's called as virtualization. This is related to storage virtualization, guys, particularly. Okay, with the help of this virtualization, what we are doing is we are able to reduce the hardware. How you guys, how can I say that? With the help of virtualization, I can reduce my hardware. How? Can anyone explain? Anyone tell? Some of you mute yourself and tell me the answer. Okay, I will ask the question. Okay, Mohan Sai, respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here is the point, right? Observe, Mohan Sai. Virtualization is one of the hardware reducing. How? What I am asking is how. I explained already yesterday how it is reducing the hardware. Virtualization reduces the hardware. Do you have answer or not? Can I explain? Otherwise,
You explain, sir.
okay, observe clearly. Okay, listen clearly, Mohan Sai. Okay,
Yes.
for suppose I want, okay, one day I'm having one software company, Mohan Sai. Okay, I got one project. To do the project, I need hardwares. If I purchase that hardwares, guys, the cost is very increasing. Mohan Sai, observe, understand? Okay, if I purchase those hardwares, the cost is increase. Okay, I won't get the profit if I purchase the hardware. నేనే పర్చేస్ చేసుకున్నాను అనుకోండి హార్డ్వేర్లు అన్ని కూడా. ఓకే, నేను సొంతగా పర్చేస్ చేసుకుంటే కనుక కాస్ట్ అనేది పెరిగిపోతుంది. మరి తగ్గించుకుంటాం ఎలా అంటే కనుక, ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ ద సొల్యూషన్ ఫర్ దట్ వన్ ఈస్ ఇఫ్ ఐ గో ఫర్ ది క్లౌడ్. The cloud will give these hardwares for very less price. Okay, it is like for suppose if you are having a function in your home, Mohan Sai, okay, what it will do, you will bring all the tent and some utilities for preparing the lunch. Okay, you will bring different utilities, right? Okay, understand? Okay, those we will take it for a rental basis. We won't purchase, right? Okay, we will use it for only one day, right? That is why what we will do is we will take those items for rental basis. Okay, then what we will do is only we will pay for the only one day. We don't purchase all these things tents, right? We will only take those for rental basis. Likewise here also, the cost reducing way is just going for the hardwares for rental basis. Okay, where we have to take these rental means the cloud provider. Understand, Mohan Sai? Okay,
Yes, sir.
where we will take these hardwares, we will take these from the cloud. not purchasing. మనం పర్చేస్ చేయకోకుండా మనం అప్పుకు తెచ్చుకుంటాం అన్నమాట. ఫర్ సపోజ్ దట్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఈస్ కంప్లీటెడ్ ఫర్ ద 3 months. ఓకే, వాట్ వీ విల్ డూ ఈస్ ఓన్లీ వీ విల్ పే ఫర్ దోస్ 3 months ఓన్లీ. ఆఫ్టర్ దట్ వీ విల్ రిలీజ్ దోస్ రిసోర్సెస్. ఓకే, ఇన్ దిస్ వే ద కాస్ట్ విల్ బి సేవ్. అర్థమైందమ్మా మోహన్?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay, this is virtualization, guys. With the help of virtualization, we can take the hardware as a rental, operating system as a rental, as well as storage and network resources also. We will take it for a rental, guys. Okay, understand? We will go for the softwares also for rental basis, guys. We will take the softwares also for rental basis. Okay, here if you observe the last point, guys, with the help of virtualization, we are able to run the multiple operating system. Okay, guys, I will ask a question. Okay, can I run multiple operating systems on my at a time? I'm asking at a time on my own laptop. I'm having only one processor, not dual cores, only single processor is there in my system. What is the answer? Navya? Navya?
సార్
ఓకే అమ్మ క్వశ్చన్ అర్థమైందా మీకు?
అర్థమైంది సార్.
ఇప్పుడు ఎట్ ఏ టైము నా దగ్గర ఒక ప్రాసెసర్ ఉంది నా ల్యాప్టాప్ లో, నేను ఎట్ ఏ టైం వచ్చేప్పటికి ఒక ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ని రన్ చేయగలనా, మల్టిపుల్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ రన్ చేయగలనా ఒకేసారి ఎట్ ఏ టైం?
ఒకటి రన్ చేయగలరు సార్.
Very good Navya. Okay, at a time we can run only one operating system, but with the help of virtualization guys, we are able to run multiple operating systems at a time. You have to understand this point guys. With the help of multiple operating system we can run at a time. That is the point you have to remember. Okay, let us go into the deeper into the virtualization guys. Okay, before virtualization guys, only one operating system can be placed in one machine. Understand guys, only one operating system can be placed in one machine. Here guys, software and hardware are tightly coupled. Software, here observe the diagram, this is before virtualization guys. Here hardware will be there, on the top of that we have installed the operating system. Okay, on the top of that we will run different applications like Word, like Photoshop, all these will be run on operating system with the help of hardware guys. This is normal without virtualization. This is normal. Here if you observe, operating system and hardware are tightly coupled guys. Operating system and hardware are tightly coupled. Okay, this is the point, these 2 points. Okay, hardware and software are tightly coupled. Running multiple applications on same machine creates conflict. Okay, at a time one processor will be there. Okay, running the multiple application, it will use conflict. Okay, this is before virtualization. Before virtualization mundala anamata. Okay, let us go into the after virtualization guys. Let us go into the after virtualization. Here guys, if you observe guys diagram, okay, here this is the logical hardware. Okay, this is physical hardware guys. Okay, on the top of that here also hardware is there. Processor will be there, RAM will be there, NIC network. Okay, and the next one is disk will be there. Likewise here also another things will be. These are logical things guys. These will be run on this physical hardware. Okay, how we get this means with the help of virtualization concept we are making these things. This is a logical thing, this is logical thing, this one is a physical thing. Okay, on the above the logical thing, a logical hardware, we have installed the operating system. Okay, this is one operating system. Okay, on the above of this logical hardware, okay, we have installed another operating system. Okay, on the above this operating system some applications will run. On the above the first operating system, on the above the some applications will be run. In this way we will make, okay, hardware as a virtual, and above the hardware we are going to run different multiple operating systems guys. This is with the virtualization. What was the main thing we did is, first one is we have virtualized the hardware. This is virtual hardware and this is another virtual hardware. These virtual hardwares will be run on the physical hardware with the help of one thing called hypervisor. Okay, that will also we're going to discuss. Okay, with the help of this virtualization hypervisor, we are going to run different okay multiple operating systems. We are able to create the multiple operating system virtual hardware with the help of a hypervisor. We are going to create these virtual hardwares. Okay, and we can manage these virtual hardware also with the help of hypervisor guys. Hypervisor. Okay, hypervisor, okay, it's an intermediate between the physical hardware and the logical hardware. Okay, understand guys how we are going to install the multiple operating system on one physical hardware. Okay, we are making the physical hardware to logical hardware. This is one logical hardware and this is one logical hardware. Here I am having the hardware, separate hardware. On the above that I am able to install the operating system. If operating system is there means we are able to run the application. Likewise this is one, okay, this is separate virtual machine and this is one separate virtualization. This is after the virtualization guys. Let us go into this one, multiple points. Okay, hardware and before after the virtualization guys. Here hardware is independent of OS and the application. If you observe this diagram guys, hardware is independent, right? Okay, Here hardware is independent of operating system and the application. These operating system and applications are run above the logical hardware, not physical hardware. Understand, guys? Mohan Sai. Okay. Here, this is a logical hardware. This is made on the above of this physical hardware. Okay. That is why there is a loose coupling between the operating system and the hardware. Loose coupling between the application and the hardware. This is the point explanation for that one. Okay. Okay. Here, with the help of this, we are making the single unit to multiple virtual machines, guys. With the help of virtualization, what we are doing, single unit to multiple virtual machines. Antena kada? Here we are making, this is one virtual machine and this is one virtual machine on the above this hardware, guys. Okay, clear? The next one is we can virtualize one server to appear to many, okay, and then one desktop to appear to many, running multiple operating systems. These are all the applications of virtualization. With the help of virtualization, I will make one server to appear to be many, and likewise one desktop to be appear to be running multiple operating systems. This is the one example, guys. Okay, guys. Now tell me, what is the advantages of this virtualization? Now you tell me. You understand what is this one? What is before virtualization and what is the after virtualization? With the help of virtualization, I'm able to make one server to multiple servers, and I'm able to make one system can run multiple operating systems. What is the advantage of this virtualization, guys? Now tell me. Meanwhile, write down this diagram also.
Cost efficient, sir. It is
Yes, very good. What is your name?
Ramyakrishna, sir.
Very good. Another? Any answers?
Space, we can reduce the space in our systems.
Okay, right, somewhat correct. Any another new answers? Remaining has to answer. Mohan Sai, any answer from your side?
Reduce the complexity, sir.
Complexity పెంచుద్దా
Reduce
తగ్గుద్దా? Reduce చేస్తుంది. Okay, somewhat. Okay, I will give you the one more advantage of virtualization, guys. For suppose in our IT lab there is a one server, guys. Okay, the servers are very costly. It's about 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs like that. So depending upon the performance, its cost varies. For suppose, okay, in our lab one server is there. Okay, that lab is connected with a, for suppose first year lab, second year lab will be there, third year lab will be there, final year lab will be there. Okay, means 180 systems are connected to that one server. Okay, for suppose, okay, at a time all these students won't come, right? Okay, means for suppose the server can handle at a time 500 systems, for suppose. And one more thing, all the second year and third years and final years are not at all at a time will not come to the lab. Okay, at a time how many people can come? First lab is for 60 people and second lab is for 60 people, overall 120 people. What about the 380 people, guys? Okay, overall performance, the server can handle 50 requests from the client, 500 requests from the client. Okay, now at a time 120 systems are connected at any time. That means 380 systems performance is wasted related to that server. Am I right or wrong? Am I right or wrong?
Sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, how we can do that one? How to increase that one? With the help of virtualization, for suppose. Okay, we virtualize that server to multiple servers, guys. For suppose we virtualize that software to multiple softwares. With that server only, I can be unable to maintain the CSC systems also, as well as library also. CSC means 180 systems. Okay, 120 plus 180, how many? 300 systems. Or suppose in library 150 systems are there, 450. With the help of this virtualization, I am able to, if I virtualize my server, means that will be used for the IT lab as well as CSC lab as well as library. Now I can get the 100% efficiency with the help of virtualization. Understand, guys? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We will increase the efficiency of server with the help of virtualization.
Virtualization.
Okay. Lokesh.
Sir, yes.
Right. Completed the diagram writing. Shall I go for the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Mohan Sai, completed? Right. Okay. I told you guys what is how hypervisor. Okay. What is the importance of hypervisor, guys? It is used to create and maintain the virtual servers.
One or
to
more
create
virtual machines.
Okay, what is the importance of hypervisor is to, on the above the physical hardware, you're able to install and manage the different virtual machines. With the help of hypervisor, I'm able to create a virtual machine and I'm able to maintain those virtual machines also with the help of hypervisor. This is the diagram for that one, guys. Okay, one physical server into multiple virtual servers with the help of a software called hypervisor. We are able to maintain all these virtual servers with the help of virtual hypervisor. That is a one software, guys. Nothing is there. Hypervisor means it's a software. Okay, use it for, okay, what is the main purpose? Use it for managing and creating a virtual machines. Clear? Write down the diagram. Hypervisor. It's a software, guys. Hypervisor means. Mohan Sai, tell me after completion of writing this one.
Completed, sir.
Okay, remaining completed.
Roll number 51, Jagadish. Roll number 51, Jagadish. Roll number 51, Jagadish. I am calling you. Unmute yourself and talk to me.
Okay, okay, guys. Next one is, if you observe the one, okay, we have completed already 5 topics in the second subtopic. Okay, in this is the last one, guys. Data center virtualization for cloud computing, guys. What is the, first of all, what is a data center, guys? Tell me. What is a data center? Anyone? What is a data center?
It is the main server which is connected. I mean, thousands of servers are connected to the.
Very good. What is your name? Good name?
Ramyakrishna, sir.
Okay, Ramikrishna, very good. Okay, here thousands of servers will be there. Okay, for large data centers, thousands of servers will be there. For small data centers, guys, it's about hundreds of servers will be there. Okay, server will process the data and store the data also. Okay, server will process the data and store the data, guys. For suppose, I want to maintain one data center, guys. What are the things I have? I have a one building with AC facility and power supply and internet connectivity, right? And I want security person, administrators, and different worker I have to use, right? Am I right or wrong? If I want to maintain one data center, what are the things I have to maintain? One location, building, AC, power supply, internet connectivity, some persons, and that administrator. All the things are required. Am I right or wrong? Yes, right? Yes. Okay. For suppose I want to reduce this data center maintenance cost, is there any solution now, guys?
Rental basis.
Mohan Sai cheppu.
If we go for rental basis.
Okay, rental basis. We can simply say that cloud.
Cloud.
If you went for the cloud, means the cost will be reduced. Okay, we no need to purchase the land, no need to construct the building, no need of AC, no need of power supply is needed normally. Okay, anywhere. Okay, internet connectivity, all these things. No need of administrators. If you went for the cloud, in this way we will cut the cost drastically. If you went for the other than data center to cloud. Understand, guys? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Till now, second subtopic is over. Let us go into that first slide. This is the first slide, guys. We have discussed. Okay, this is the second subtopic: technologies of network-based system. In that, advances in the CPU processor, multi-core CPU and multi-threading technologies, and GPU computing, memory, storage, and wide area networks. And the next one is virtual machine and virtualization middleware. We have completed. And the last one is data center virtualization for the cloud computing. Okay, second subtopic is over. Okay, let us go into the third subtopic in the first unit. Okay, this is the one, guys. Okay. Previous one is networks related to distributed and cloud computing. Now the systems models of distributed and cloud computing, guys. System models. It's related to software. Previously one is hardware. Okay, guys. Hardware related to distributed systems and cloud computing. Now the new one is system models of for distributed and cloud computing, guys. Here we have to mainly discuss about the clusters. We already know about the clusters. What is a cluster? Okay, and we already know about peer-to-peer networks, and we will going to discuss about the grids as well as clouds. Overall things related to the system models we are going to discuss. Okay, let us go into the, okay, write down the slide, guys. First of all, what are the things we are going to discuss in this start topic? Okay, write down this slide.
Roll number 8, Lokesh, respond. Roll number 8,
Yes, madam.
Lokesh.
Yes, madam.
ఏంటి ఇప్పుడే లాగిన్ అయ్యారు హాఫ్ అన్ అవర్ తర్వాత?
లేదు మేడం, ఇందాకే వచ్చాను.
మీరు
ఇందాకే వచ్చాను
చెప్పకండి,
మేడం.
నేను మాటిమాటికి మానిటర్ చేస్తూనే ఉన్నాను. ఇప్పుడే జగదీష్ తో కూడా మాట్లాడాను, తీయలేదు. ఇప్పటి వరకు మీ
లేదు
నంబర్
మేడం,
లేదు.
రోల్ నెంబర్ 51 జగదీష్ రెస్పాండ్ అన్నారు. అప్పుడు ఉన్నాను ఇందాక సార్ కి.
Okay. Okay, guys, here we're going to discuss about system models. In that we will discuss mainly clusters, peer-to-peer networks, grids and clouds. We are going to discuss now onwards. Okay, this is the third subtopic in the first unit. Okay, guys, clusters. What is a cluster, guys? We already discussed what is a cluster.
Of similar
objects ni కలిపి ఉంటాయి.
of similar
Very good.
elements.
Very good, Nani Babu. Next, any answers?
It is a collection of similar featured elements, sir.
Ramya, right? 57, huh?
Sir. Yes.
Very
sir.
good. Very good, guys. Cluster means homogeneous things, interconnection. Okay. In cluster, all will have the same properties. If you take two clusters, okay, one object from the one cluster, like one system from one cluster, another system from another cluster, they will have the different properties. Homogeneous things will form a clusters, guys. Homogeneous things. Here, if you come into the computing terminology, okay, cluster means interconnection of systems of having the similar properties. Okay, and make them as a single integrated computing resource. Okay, it is visible like a single resource, but inside that what it will have, it is interconnected by different standalone systems, guys. It is interconnected by standalone systems. Here we use LAN or SAN. Okay, LAN means local area network. It will connect the clients and the server. Or we use SAN, storage area network. It connects the server and clients. Okay, right, guys? Servers and the storage. SAN means servers ni alage storage ni interconnect cheyadaniki we use this one. We use this LAN and SAN, okay, to connect these homogeneous systems that is there in the cluster, guys. That is there in the clusters. Okay, all these cluster will work for one work. All these clusters will form as a homogeneous group and working on some problems. Same, okay, homogeneous problems. Okay, guys. Okay, the best example related to this one is high performance computing. We already discussed. Okay, in high performance computing, we already discussed about the clusters also. Okay, the supercomputing you can collectively form as a high performance computers. Okay, that will comes under clusterization. That will comes under clusterization. Okay, nowadays we are not using this high performance computing, guys. We are using the high throughput computing. We are using the high throughput computing. Okay, nowadays we are going for high throughput computing. That comes under example related to high throughput computing is clouds, guys. Cloud is the best example for high throughput computing. Clusters is an example for high performance computing. High performance computing means, okay, what it will do is it will connect the different homogeneous servers. That will be a PC or laptop or supercomputers. Those will be interconnected with the help of LAN or SAN, working on one integrated computing resources. Okay, understand guys? Clusters, fine. Shall I go for the next slide? Fine. Okay, this is the example guys. Here, if you observe guys, these are the cluster of systems and all they're having a homogeneous properties. Okay, what are the users will submit the jobs with the help of these network LAN or SAN that will be went to the clusters. The clusters will execute that work and give the result back. 87. What is your problem? Understand guys? Clusters. These are the cluster of systems. Okay, homogeneous systems having the same properties. These clusters and server and the user systems are connected by LAN or SAN. I hope everyone understand this one. Nothing is there. Once I find.
Sir.
If you want, you can write it down the diagram. What is a cluster? Lokesh, tell me after completion of writing this diagram.
Okay, sir.
Today I will observe the notes of number 8 and number Mohan Sai also.
Yes, sir.
సార్ ఎందుకు సార్ ఇంత కఠినంగా ఉంటున్నారు?
Everything will be recorded, Lokesh. Okay, don't.
Roll number 51. Roll number 51. Once again, I am calling you. Roll number 51. Otherwise, I will put you absent.
No need to call those so many times.
Okay.
Absent.
You have disconnected.
Okay, next one is peer-to-peer systems, guys. The next one is peer-to-peer systems. Okay. Previously also we have discussed about this peer-to-peer systems, guys. Okay. Okay, here in this peer-to-peer network, guys. Okay, at any point of we can join or we may leave the network. There is no particular fixed network will be there here. At any point of time we can join or any point of time we may leave. Okay, you could in this peer-to-peer, every node will be act as a client and server, guys. Okay, there is no fixed one like for server and there is no fixed one for the client. Anytime every node will act as a both client as well as server. At any point of time they will join the network, and at any point of time they may leave the network. And one more thing, guys, there is no centralization coordination. Means like a centralized database will be also not there here. Okay, in peer-to-peer, just all the systems are interconnected one to another. There is no central database. Okay, at any point of time they can join, at any point of time they may leave the network. It's a self-organized one, guys. It's a self-organized one. Okay, everyone, it acts like for each and every self system it will act like a server as well as client. Okay, self-organized system. Okay, right? Here there is no dedicated interconnectivity is not there. Fixed interconnectivity. Okay, at any point of time they want to establish, they can establish it. At any one time if you want to leave the network, they can leave the network from the peer-to-peer network, guys. Understand, guys? There is no fixed one here. Anyone will act like a server and client also. At any point of time they may join or leave the network. Okay, here there is no centralized database. Okay, it's a self-organized one. Okay, and then last one is there is not a dedicated interconnection will not be there here in peer-to-peer network. Clear, guys? Mohan, so I fine? Round to four, unmute yourself. Let us go for the next slide.
Yes, sir.
స్క్రీన్ కనపడట్లా.
షేర్ అవ్వలేదమ్మా?
Yes, sir.
visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Screen share అవట్లేదు.
Guys, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, here there are two types of peer-to-peer networks are there. One is distributed file sharing, the next one is collaborative peer-to-peer networks. Okay, coming to the distributed file sharing, here the content will be distributed, guys. Like the content will be music or video or anything, audio like that. Okay, coming to collaborative network, it's a sharing of chatting like Skype chatting and instance messaging. All this comes under collaborative. Content related one is comes under distributed file sharing. Here the file sharing like music videos coming to this collaborative network, peer-to-peer networks, it comes under chatting and messaging. Okay, at any point of time they may join, at any point of time they can leave. There is no fixed networking things here. Anyone will act as a, for suppose I want to send a file, I will be a server. Okay, another person will be a client. Okay, at the other portion of time, for some time he want to send a file to me, he want to send some portion of file to me. At that time he will be a server, I will be a client. Like that, it may changes depending upon the situation. The client and servers will be self-made. Clear, guys? Any doubts, guys, till now? Any doubts till now? Ask me now.